Hey there, everybody. I'm so happy to be finally filming this video. This is going to be 10 amazing draft patterns from super creative pattern writers out there. And I've tested them all out. I have made at least one of all 10, and I'm here to share them with you and hopefully give you some ideas in case you're considering purchasing a draft pattern, or if you are market prepping and want to include some giraffes in your market. So let's go ahead and get started. The first giraffe pattern that I have for you is by Crochet, and it is called a giraffe pop. And I don't know if I did mine incorrectly, but my head doesn't pop. I'm thinking I overstuffed the neck a little bit, but let's talk about the pattern. So this is a no-sew pattern. It has a little surface crochet tail in the back. These are bobble stitches, the little ossicones. You crochet the ears in the round. I used mystical yarn, and I think it turned out really cute for a giraffe. There are color changes, but I chose not to do the color changes because my yarn had so many different variations in it. And I thought for simple market make, this would be perfect to just use my variegated yarn. I used a Premier Parfait yarn for the ossicones and for the bobble stitch feet. I think overall he turned out really cute. He kind of reminds me of the Cuddle Critters from Mama Makes Yarn. As far as the way he looks as a giraffe, I think some of the other giraffe patterns are a little bit cuter. I probably should have used white for the muzzle because it doesn't stand out enough. But overall, this took me about 25 minutes to make. Super easy, super fast pattern. I think if you just want a basket of giraffes at your market and you want something quick and simple, this would be a really nice pattern. It is sold on Etsy and it's $1.54. I have for you guys is actually a free pattern. It's on Instagram and it's by crochet_toys_patterns. And it is a perfect market make. I made this little guy with gumdrop yarn and I made this little guy with Premier Parfait yarn. And they are just both the perfect size. They are completely no-sew. They work up in about 30 minutes and I just really love them. They don't have like extraneous limbs or anything that you have to sew on. Everything is bobble stitches. When I made this guy, I was a little off on the feet. So I made sure when I made the second one that I really paid attention to where my bobbles were falling because I had to adjust my stitches a little bit. But how adorable are these? If you want to make them 100% baby safe, you may want to consider embroidering the eyes. So go find this one on Instagram. It's a super easy pattern and I think you're going to love it. Our third giraffe pattern that I have for you is by Crochet with Carla, and I paid $2.75 for this pattern, which I think isn't bad considering that you get a pretty good sized product. I think overall cuteness, this giraffe wins. I love the shape of the legs. You do have to make 4 separate legs, and they have this really interesting joint in right here that I just think is very unique and different compared to other giraffe patterns and animal patterns that I have made. There are quite a few color changes, but I think that just adds to the character. I love the shape of the neck, and you do start at the bottom and then you work your way up. You crochet the legs in the round and then it kind of like works its way up, and then I believe you sew on the head. I believe I sewed on the head. I might have to look at that again. But look at his face. He's so cute. I love his expression. Where I put the white, it kind of looks like he's looking up, so the white should probably be on the sides. The ears do have to be crocheted and sewn on separately. The tail, this little tiny adorable tail, is surface crocheted. Overall, I think he turned out adorable. He did take me a couple of hours to finish. Mostly that was because I had never made the pattern before, and honestly, the legs were really tripping me up. But if I were to make this pattern again, I think I would understand it a lot better. And I just think he's so cute. Look at his ossicones up here. They are just so perfectly placed. I love the shape of his ears. I would definitely make this pattern again. And I would look for other animal patterns by her, Crochet with Kyra, because I really like this design a lot. I'm probably going to charge about $40 for him at the market. And so he is not going to be something I would make a whole bunch of, but I would definitely have a couple sitting on the table. And I think he is just going to make a perfect market make. His entire body is made with Premier Parfait yarn, and this dark brown color is also Premier Parfait, and then you just embroider the eyebrows, which I love the eyebrows. So yeah, pattern number 3, super cute and adorable. I would recommend it. This snuggler was designed by Dinkoa, handmade, and oh my goodness, I am obsessed with this pattern. What I love about this pattern is that I really like the shape of the face. I like how the muzzle is a little bit rounder. It gives it a little more personality. I will say you have to make a lot of parts. So you do make the arms separately and sew them on. You have to make the ears and the ossicones and the muzzle separately and sew it on. Wait, no, the muzzle is not made separately and sewn on. That is part. So you make the head and then you set it aside. You make the ossicones and ears and sew them on. That's all separately. Then you start, as a lot of snugglers do, with one foot, then the other one, work your way up. And then when you get to the top, you actually sew the head onto the body. I don't know if you've ever seen this design before, but you make the body like flat instead of the head being part of like an open space. So I like that design. I think it's really easy to put together. At that point, the arms were really easy to sew on, and oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's got little eyebrows up here, and he has, I went ahead and just, the way this pattern works, you actually stitch, like embroider all of the spots. So you can see that I embroidered all of the spots. I honestly thought that was very easy, and I like the effect. So if you're not really into pattern changing, or if you're not into color changing, you may want to consider embroidering your spots on a lot of these patterns, because honestly, it wasn't that hard. I used Bernat blanket for this color right here. I think this is sand. And then I used mystical yarn for the body. And then this is Premier Parfait. The dark spots are Premier Parfait. So yeah, he turned out so cute. I show that this pattern is $1.22. I don't know if I bought it on sale or if it's still that price, but for such an adorable snuggler like this, I think that this is a very good deal. I think it's going to be super popular at markets. I would definitely recommend it. The next pattern that I have for you is called Jewell the Giraffe. This pattern cost me $4, and it is by Lil's Lovies, and oh my gosh, so adorable. One thing that I really appreciate about this pattern is that everything is crocheted in the round. So you make the ears and the ossicones, and then you make the head, and you crochet those, and then you set them aside, so that's no sewing. And then when you make the body, you make the arms, legs, and tail, and then those are all crocheted in the round. But I think he turned out so cute. She embroidered spots on her giraffe. I think I will go back and add some spots onto my giraffe, because I think it will give him a little more character. But oh my gosh, such like a huggable little animal. And I just love the way he turned out. He's like a true plushie. It has like the actual tail in the back instead of just, you know, a surface crochet tail. But I just think he turned out so adorable. He did take me a little bit longer. I want to say like upwards of an hour and a half to finish him. I did give him kind of some silly eyes. I added some white detail, which made it look like he's looking up. But I can easily change that and put the whites in a different spot. But yeah, I think he turned out really, really cute. I would definitely recommend this pattern, especially for a no-sew pattern or a low-sew pattern. Go out and find it, because it's such an adorable pattern. And again, all these patterns will be linked down below so that you guys can go find them. But this one is Jewell the Giraffe. I like how she gave it a name. And I actually see a little spot over here where I need to close up a hole. I will tell you one little secret with this pattern. And if you were watching my channel, you may have seen me making this on one of my weekly crochet vlogs. But I ran out of the yellow yarn and I had to improvise here. But hopefully, like, whoever falls in love with Jewell will not care if she has some different shades of yellow on her body. But yeah, adorable pattern. I would definitely make this one again. I couldn't do a giraffe pattern review without including a keychain. What an adorable keychain. This keychain is by Hot Off the Hook by Katie, and the pattern only cost me $1. The reason why I chose this over some of the free giraffe patterns, I really liked the dimensions of the ossicones up here. The other ones that I found were all bobble stitches, and I really liked the way this one looked overall. I did use Premier Parfait yarn, and despite the fact that it was tiny, it did take me about 25 minutes to finish. Definitely the next one will be a lot quicker. I used a yellow and brown keychain hook to kind of tie in the colors, but oh my gosh, look how adorable. So cute, and it's just the head, no body. So yeah, this is a perfect little keychain for your next market. The next giraffe pattern that I have for you is by a maker called Jen's Crafty Creations. Oh my goodness, look how adorable this little guy is. This pattern cost me $6, and I did purchase it on Etsy, and it's called Janet the Sitting Giraffe. The dimensions of this giraffe are just adorable. They're like, so I'm going to show him to you all the way around. His head is very large compared to the size of his body, and he has a muzzle, which I had to crochet separately, and sew on. Ears crocheted separately and sewn on. Ossicones crocheted and sewn on separately. Back legs are crocheted sitting out, and I really like this design because it allows the animal to sit upright. But my favorite part are these front legs. When I first made these front legs, I thought they were the back legs. I was like, why are they so long? But when you set him down, he is just this almost like an animated creature. He is just adorable, and he sits perfectly with his arms in front of him. I also like the color changes that are on the arms, and I just think he is adorable. I decided to tie in a dark brown color for the other color changes just to give him a little bit of creativity. You don't have to always do everything exactly the same, but oh my gosh, what an adorable creature. This guy took me about an hour and a half to make. Pretty positive the next one would be not as long. I did use sinker eyes because I felt like with such a big head, he really needed some sinker eyes to pull his personality out. But definitely recommend this pattern if you want something super cute and adorable sitting on your table. I think he would also be cute in some other colors, like maybe making a purple and pink giraffe with this guy would be adorable. So yeah, I would recommend this pattern. The next pattern I have for you is called Stackimals Giraffe Pattern, and I need to do some research. I don't know if this is part of another collection of animals where they like stack on top of each other, but by Little Bean Stitches, and I paid $5.30 for the pattern. To me, that's a little bit of a high price for a pattern this small, but I really wanted a different variety of crochet patterns for giraffes, and this little guy was definitely unique. I love the way he's laying down. And what a perfect market make. Out of all of the giraffes I made, this one wins the award for the best market make. I just think the way the ossicones look on his head, there is a lot of crocheting and sewing for a pattern that is this tiny. I had to make the legs and the ossicones and the ears. Everything had to be sewn on, but I feel like it was worth it. I feel like for just a tiny little bit of sewing, I didn't mind at all. I really like the color change spots. I like that there's a spot here and there's another spot there and then there's another spot here. I always have to be super careful with color changing on spots on animals because it doesn't matter how hard I try to follow that pattern. Maybe it's my tension, but the spots always end up in strange places. And I really have to look at the pattern and look at like, where's this spot supposed to be, and just adjust the pattern that way. But look how cute he is. I definitely want to make more of this guy. I think he is just awesome. Probably one of my favorites in all of these giraffe patterns. So this is a stack. This is Gentry by BK Crochet. So I think that means it's a male giraffe, but I really can't tell. But oh my gosh, look at the face. I went ahead and embroidered the eyes on this giraffe. So this is a snuggler giraffe, meaning that it's not stuffed. And everything is crocheted in the round. You make the ears, the ossicones, you make the head separately, and then you make the feet and the arms and just work your way up like a lot of these patterns will. There are some color changes, so be ready for that. And if you don't like color changes, again, you can embroider those color changes. One thing that I liked about this pattern is that it adds a couple extra rows in the neck, to where the giraffe is a little more like a giraffe. It has a little bit of a longer neck. I did kind of mess up a little bit on the muzzle. There are these like little bobble stitches here in the muzzle, and I don't know what happened, but it's a little bit off center. This is the only one where I embroidered the eyes, and I think they turned out really cute. Probably should have gone with black, But overall, I really like this pattern. I don't know if I mentioned, but it was $7.20, which is a little more than I would normally pay for a pattern, but I think he's worth it. He turned out really cute, and I was like really wanting to have a variety of giraffe patterns for this video. But super cute. Let's compare him to the other Snuggler. So here are the two Snugglers side by side. You can get an idea of the different design. This guy has more of a rounded muzzle, and this guy has more of like what a typical giraffe's muzzle would look like. This one is a little bit wider, where this one is a little bit of a narrower body. The arms on this one are up closer near the head, where this one allows for a little bit of a neck. They both have color change. No, this one has color changes. This one has embroidery for the spots. If I had to pick one of these, I would probably pick this one because I feel like I like the wider leg, and I think it's a little bit of a softer, squishier design. But overall, I think they're both cute. This one definitely has, the one by BK Crochet definitely has some like real giraffe details that maybe this one doesn't have. So both really cute patterns. This one is made with sparkle yarn, which I sadly have run out of. And this one is made with mystical. So yeah, maybe that's why this one's so much softer. But yeah, I love both of them. I think they turned out really nice. And oh my gosh, you guys, we only have one pattern left. Okay, the last pattern that I have for you is from one of my favorite OG designers, and that is Crochet by Jenna. I actually got this pattern off of her Patreon. It was like way back. And I went back and found it again because I still have access to all of the patterns because I'm still a Patreon member. But you can also get this pattern on Etsy. This is the same pattern. This one is made with Knotty Ball yarn, and this one is made with Bernat yarn. You can decide which one that you like the most. I think because I had to make, 4 parts, like the arms and the legs, and then they're all crocheted in the round, I might as well get make the bigger one. I think the body shape is just adorable. I love the rounded belly and the long neck. It is just so cute. For this guy, I used burgundy spots, and I really liked the way it turned out. It was just a little bit different. And for the muzzle, I actually used Sweet Snuggles. But oh my gosh, such an adorable creature. These are super popular at markets. And then, of course, this is just the sweetest little size for a little kid. I would probably want to embroider those eyes if it was for a baby. But love this pattern. Jenna, you knocked it out of the park when you made this. I know she has a lot of other animals that have this same design. Especially in her book, which I just got in the mail last week, and I'm so excited to go in there and try out some of the patterns. But yeah, this is our last pattern by Crochet by Jenna, and go out and try it. Okay, you guys, that was the end of my giraffe pattern review. I hope that you guys loved seeing all of these amazing patterns, and maybe I gave you some ideas on some giraffes that you could make. There are so many other great patterns out there. Crochet Grove has some really nice giraffe patterns that I didn't make. Another one, Stitches by Patty. I didn't get to make her giraffe. I just ran out of time and I wanted to get this video completed. But I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like these kinds of videos, I also did a pattern. I filmed a pattern review for penguins. Go check that out. And then what other pattern review ideas do you guys have? What would you like to see 10 different patterns of? Give me some ideas in the comments down below, and I can start researching and getting started. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.